Thanks to Hollywood and video gaming, it's not enough to build a better mousetrap these days. If you want to get a point across, it better be understandable and engaging. After all, my handheld electric device and Angry Birds are waiting. One way to get an idea across is to use the familiar. Let's start with something simple. Buried valleys. We have lots of valleys and hills around here, or not. On a landscape where nosebleed elevation changes, 10 feet? 100 feet of outcrop for scale nowhere in sight. How does one visualize 300 feet of variable sediments beneath our feet? Or illustrate complex geologic and morphologic relationships from 2D paper-thin images and words, more words, bigger words. We're uniquely designed to absorb pictures. We need to map, model, and visualize in 3D for its innate value to the viewer. We reduce geology to points, lines, and areas in 2D. As an example, a standard location map shows point data, its spatial relationships, distribution, and borings. 3D maps provide the same information and much more, much faster. The points have become cylinders that are color-coded for material. Cylinder heights show well depth. You can already begin to see spatial relationships among the various colors. Contours in 2D can be labeled, colored, or used to enclose areas that may also be colored to give the illusion of depth. A three-dimensional rendering of these same lines goes beyond the illusion of elevation to a surface that has visual relief and thickness. In this case, the topography of a buried bedrock valley into which sorted sediments have been deposited. To demonstrate the relationship of the overlying sorted sediments to the bedrock valley, thickness contour data produced in ModFlow by George Roadcap were converted to an elevation surface that is the top of the sorted materials. The two surfaces were stacked with appropriate county lines, roads, and rivers to produce a virtual model of the Muhammad Aquifer. The character of both thickness and extent are more easily understood. By creating multiple drift thickness layers, concepts such as confined and unconfined are explained at a glance, along with how and why only a portion of the aquifer fits into either category. The same data used to build the virtual model of the Muhammad Aquifer were used to construct an actual model that's made from masonite and can be handled or taken apart by viewers to further help them learn and understand. Even hardened geologists have an immediate response to the model. The ability to actually handle surfaces provides a whole new perspective. Folks sit down, look at it, turn it around, and adjust their thinking. There are many other possibilities for 3D models. A 3D model of the valley of the ancient Mississippi River was constructed from masonite for the Institute Expo last spring. A number of interesting questions were raised during construction of it, but I digress. The following slides, selected from an automated slideshow developed from the actual model data, tell a story of the rerouting of the ancient Mississippi River that once flowed across the Green River lowland and down the valley that is now occupied by the Illinois River, past Peoria to St. Louis. As the Wisconsin ice advanced towards its maximum, rivers carrying meltwater swelled to fill the valley. The Mississippi River was ultimately overridden by ice, and drainage down the river was blocked. Lake Milan expanded, and the bed of the lake rose as water continued to pour into the valley, depositing outwash sediments. Eventually, the lake overflowed near Rock Island, cutting a new channel through which the lake began to drain. This virtual model combines DEM and soils data to explain the elevation of soil's parent materials classified as fine-grained lake sediments that lie well above the Green River lowland. In addition to telling the story, the model tests whether the hypothesis is reasonable. Following the retreat of the ice, the underfit base level of Mississippi River was too low to permit the river to reoccupy the infilled lowland. The Mississippi River now flows through a young valley on the west side of the state, and the Illinois River occupies the ancient Mississippi Valley.